With your latest news, I'm April Cummings.
It's an amazing opportunity for 12 to 16-year-olds to now come forward to get vaccinated against COVID-19 disease.
That's Chief Medical Officer Dr. John Lee confirming the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine is now approved for a new age group. The Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, MHRA, in the UK, determined the vaccine has demonstrated high efficacy and safety for this age group in clinical trials.
Clearly, this is something that in this age group, the young people will be able to talk to their parents about to make their own minds up. However, if they are keen to come forward, I would encourage them to do so as this age group begin to take on the same risks as adults do.
In the Cayman Islands, there are approximately 3,000 children in this age group who are now eligible to receive the vaccine.
I do need to warn everybody that vaccine supplies are running low until our next delivery, so please bear this in mind as we are likely to run out within the next few days.
The Health Services Authority will announce the schedule for 12 to 15-year-olds in the coming days on hsa.ky. And a quick update on the COVID-19 numbers for today. These are the results of 377 tests since our last report on Thursday. There were 3 positive test results, all in travelers. To date, there have been 84,856 COVID-19 vaccinations given in total in the islands. 70% of 65,000, that's the estimated population, have had at least 1 dose, and 60% have completed the 2-dose course. The Ministry of Tourism and Transport confirms that British Airways will add 2 flights requested by government to meet increased demand during the summer. The first flight will leave London Heathrow on July 7th, returning July 8th, and the second leaves London Heathrow on the 18th of August, returning on the 19th. We're told British Airways will be uploading the new flights to their website soon, so you're advised to check BritishAirways.com if you'd like to book. Government, though, once again issues a reminder to always cross-check that flights are confirmed by visiting exploregov.ky, as airlines sometimes post flights that aren't actually approved. The Human Rights Commission says conditions like being vaccinated can be placed on work permits. Radio Cayman's Carsley Fuller explains.
In a written statement, the HRC says it continues to follow the ongoing COVID-19 global pandemic and its implications for Cayman's residents. Most recently, the Commission noted the government's newly proposed regulations requiring COVID-19 vaccinations in specified groups. The Commission has confirmed that for people currently on a work permit or applying for a work permit, the grant or renewal of a work permit can be provided with conditions, such as the requirements to be vaccinated, in this case against COVID-19. The HRC says government has a duty to protect the lives of all individuals in the Cayman Islands under the Bill of Rights. This is something it says the country has already done to tackle the pandemic. For example, with the implementation of border closures and shopping days by last name, curfews, limitations on gatherings over certain numbers, and requiring wearing of face masks. The Commission says the mandating of vaccinations against COVID-19 for grants or renewals of work permits is another condition government can put in place once assessed that it's lawful, rational, proportionate, and procedurally fair. However, the government policy would have to allow for exceptional circumstances in which exemptions could be granted, such as cases where medical contraindications exist. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Carsley Fuller.
What we are celebrating at the moment is we finally had our topping off party. So that's the pouring of the last bits of concrete on the roof and essentially allowing the building envelope to be closed off.
Well, you can't see it, but Managing Director Matthew White is one of a small group of people standing on the roof of Aura, the new 39-unit 4-story residential development on the Grand Harbor Roundabout. NCB Managing Director Matthew White says the journey to this moment didn't quite play out as planned, with the pandemic not only closing the borders, but in the early days, a complete lockdown meant no construction work at all.
Outside of the initial shock of when we were going to be able to resume to site, what that was going to look like and what the world was going to kind of evolve into going through the COVID environment, we've also since then had numerous challenges. There's major supply chain issues. There's been significant price increases on construction materials, and those have certainly presented their challenges for us as a developer and a contractor. We have to bear the brunt of both sides, and when you have fixed price contracts with people buying at a certain price, you don't have the ability to change that. So we've had to weather a fair number of storms, so this milestone is certainly warmly welcomed. And now with the finishes commencing inside, it's really satisfying to see it all come together.
Mr. White is proud to point out that in this project, NCB has incorporated renewable energies and sustainable methodologies, including solar panels and geothermal cooling. Aura is due for completion later this year. Status quo for First Baptist Christian School as inspectors head back in April for another review. Radio Cayman's Paula Cal has the details.
Back in March 2019, First Baptist Christian School netted a satisfactory rating by the team at Office of Education Standards, and at last month's assessment, the school earned the same judgment. The report says since the last full inspection, the school had made improvements in assessment, curriculum, and improvement planning. Christian values and ideals expressed in the school's mission statement were reflected in the fabric of the school. Additionally, school leaders were committed to planning and implementing strategies for improvement. Most of the staff demonstrated strong commitment to the ethos of the school, its values, and success. Recommendations going forward include improving the quality of teaching and student attainment by using assessment data to plan lessons to meet the needs of all students, ensuring teachers mark work regularly to give kids guidance on areas they need to improve in, and reducing the, quote, inconsistencies in the quality of teaching across the grades. Senior leaders were also encouraged to strengthen their self-evaluation and school improvement planning processes. First Baptist caters to 133 children between the ages of 5 and 11. For Radio Cayman News, I am Paula Cal.
An evening of appreciation for students and mentors alike as His Excellency Governor Martin Roper hosts a reception at Government House. Chamber President Mike Gibbs.
It is my hope that some of the students with us tonight will, in the future, give back to the program by serving as mentors themselves. It's always important to think about the next generation and what we are doing to prepare them to take on the challenges and opportunities of tomorrow.
The program is now in its 19th year, attracting 130 participants this round, 65 mentors and student matches, a record number for the program. Introduced by the Chamber in 2002 in partnership with the Ministry of Education, the 6-month program pairs high-achieving Year 10 and 11 students from public and private schools, selected by their school principals with a mentor from the business community or government. More than 1,000 students have benefited, acquiring new personal and professional skills since the inception of the program. If you're a regular listener to us here on Radio Cayman, you know we often share content with you from CIG-TV, the Cayman Islands Government TV channel. And this Friday, we thought it appropriate to share with you a feature we enjoyed about local students. They talk about their experience going head-to-head as they look to snag top spot in a local music competition. Here's CIG-TV's Donna Bush.
Well, recently the 26th annual Amin Muhammad Steel Band competition took place and the Young Musician of the Year winner was announced. Each year the National Children Festival of the Arts event takes place where hundreds of students perform for various prizes and placements. This week we caught up with Gabrielle Best, the Young Musician of the Year winner, and the Junior and Senior Steel Pan soloist winners. The talented young people talked to us about how they felt when they were announced as the winners, what challenges they faced while preparing their performances, and what other aspiring musicians should be doing.
I was and I still am absolutely thrilled. I couldn't believe it. I thought I wasn't capable since we had wonderful and amazing musicians play for Young Musician of the Year. Weeks before Musician of the Year, my accompanist and my violin teacher, we were struggling to make the piece be meaningful to the audience and to perfect it. And also exams were in the way, and I felt that it was a bit too difficult, but I managed to get through.
I guess I could say practice a lot. I've been practicing since January. I've been practicing my song nonstop and tweaking it here and there. Just practice and go out there with confidence and you'll take it home. When I'm performing on stage, it's just like really nice for me. I feel very good and happy. It's kind of therapeutic for me because it's like a release of stress when I'm playing, especially with my band.
I was ecstatic, honestly. Like, I wasn't surprised, but at the same time, I was a little bit shocked because it was my first solo competition, like, ever. And so it was like a 1-for-1, basically. Like, first try, get out the way, and I was like, okay, cool, that's amazing.
Great performances there from the many talented students in the Cayman Islands.
And that is your latest local news on this Friday from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.